Welcome to Thursday Night Knives. I'm your host, Bob DeMarco. Coming up, Tactile Knives has a new kitchen knife. I have a new hinderer, and we take a look at how your collection has evolved. To me, I'm watching it happen in real time, and I have out my favorite folders tonight, and I think there's a through line, but I want to see what that is. Hag, great to have you here. Am I early? No, you are right on time, sir. Hey, Scott, how's it going? I think I saw you last night. Last night, I had the pleasure of going on Jared Neves' show. It was a great time. Byron Kennedy, great to have you here, sir. Enjoying the podcast and the Knife Junkie content 2 months now. Well, thank you, Byron. I appreciate that. We are psyched to do it. It's so much snuzz. It is this is like such a great and fun labor of love. Snuzz is here at Knife Point. Great to have you here, sir. Let the party begin. Michael Morgan, saw you last night. How you doing, sir? Great to have you here. Oregon Knife Guy, great to have you back as always. Caleb, buongiorno. Good to have you here. We have Mr. Merkin Muffley. Sorry, President James Moore. Good to have you here, sir. Nick, always a pleasure. Nick Martino taunting me with the Yo Jimbo. I sold him. David E., good to have you here, David. As always, a pleasure. Good evening, Redacted. Good to have Redacted here. Anyone make any good knife trades recently? Hey, we have Jonathan and Ezekiel Shredder, guys. Good to have you. Max the Maker, also good to have you. Hello, caught the live with Neves Knives last night. I enjoyed the stories. That was a lot of fun. He's a great host, that Mr. Neve. Stoolie J, good to have Stoolie J. Good name, too. Ryan, good to have you here, sir. Evening, Bob and Jim, he says. Clay Rowden, good to have Clay Rowden here. Thank you, Clay. Yo, Mr. Junkie. I'm early in my knife crack addiction. Happy to be here. Excellent. It only gets deeper. It only gets deeper. Blade Freak, how's it going, Blade Freak? Do you recognize this knife, or have you forgotten all about it? This is a really, really great Hoback Quayback. Hey, Patty, good to see you here. I was just watching a video of yours at work today about the 3 different sets of knives, and I really liked it. Great video, as always, and great midday upbeat content, you know what I mean? Dave, we have Dave, This Old Sword Blade Reviews here. Evening, Bob, can't hang with you tonight. Early morning, I got you. I'm compelled to check in. Catch you on the reruns. Well, sir, I have this out tonight. Well, I've been carrying it around with me as a tertiary knife, no matter what I'm carrying. I am loving this Boker Smatchet. So gorgeous, designed by Chuck Adritis with VG10 bearings and this awesome rosewood, like a guitar, rosewood handle. Sean M., great to have you here. Good evening from Las Vegas. Well, it's great to be here in Las Vegas. G-Man W, what's up, guys? Just hanging, just talking knives. I want to find out about some good trades you guys have made recently because, man, that Quayback is sexy. How much? Yeah, right. I'll give you a deal. How about $450? $450, and I'll put it back in the mail to you. No, this thing is awesome. I also got, this is the knife I've been carrying nonstop until today, but this is the hinderer. I'm sorry, geez, I got hinderer on the brain because of something I got today. But this is the old Chris Reeve Knives, Umnumzan in Tanto. Beautiful. I've been carrying it for about a week straight, and I really, really like it. And so I got that from Blade Freak. He sent me this to check out. Had never had a Quayback in hand before. Quack, good to have you here. Quack. That is a cool wood, isn't it? Look at that. And it's got a really nice spring, too. Clip, I mean. But, yeah. So if you haven't been on Blade Freak's Instagram recently, go check him out. He's got pictures of this awesome new Quayback that is just, it's a knockout. It's like got a really cool frag pattern, right? Would you call it a frag pattern? Probably. I think I would. So I made a trade to a gentleman, or with a gentleman, on Blade forums, and I unloaded my really awesome Praetorian G, and I preface it with the really awesome. It's not that I necessarily wanted to get rid of it, but I never ever carry it, and I only use it for comparisons and like, haha, isn't this a great knife? It is a great knife, great build, cuts really well. It's very, very sharp, but it's just a little too broad. It's a little too much. So I wanted to get a tanto that I would use and carry. And this gentleman reached out to me and said, "Hey, I have this to trade." And it's a new inbox, old stock, I guess, Hinderer Eclipse. And it is beautiful, and it's the tanto version I like, the non-harpoon, though that looks kind of harpoony. There's one that's more abrupt and looks more like a harpoon, and I'm not a big fan, but I like this because it almost reminds me of that double hump Mac v Sog shape a little bit, but then it goes into that long dramatic tanto. So I traded my Praetorian for this. I know I'm going to carry it. It's right in my wheelhouse for size, and I just love Hinderer knives. And just didn't really have the appetite to buy one, but recently. But seeing this come up in trade, it's awesome. Nick, any new fixed blades? Not since the birthday knife. But since you asked, I will pull it out and show it off. Goodness, the Eclipse Tanto is on my list. Oh yeah, it's a really nice knife, and this one does not have the tri-way pivot, but it's got a very nicely tuned detent for a non tri-way Hinderer. That's the caveat, but a great knife, and it also has this nice bronze hardware on there. It's got the bronze standoffs, bronze, anodized bronze, titanium, that is. Snuzz, I tend to trade money for knives. It's a sickness, really. Yes, money for knives. I'll trade. That's what I usually do. Is buy. I buy a lot of stuff on the secondary market, but I haven't had too many successful trades, and this was an awesome one for me, and I think the other guy made out pretty well too. Chad says, I have that Hinderer Tanto and love it. I do too, man. It's very sharp. It's probably the sharpest Hinderer I've gotten ever out of box. Very, very sharp. D-Base, good to see you, sir. Or is that D-Bass? Nice, Bob. The last knife I bought was a Hinderer. Awesome. Which one was it? Actually, let me know which one it was. And then also let me know if you're a bass or a base. I could see both would be cool. Blade Freak says, no trades recently, but I just purchased another hoback. Oh my gosh. Today, SMH. Not sure what that is. It's a warhorse. And I have a hoback problem. Oh my God. So SMH. Not sure what that is. Anyway, I want to see that one, Blade Freak. I want to see it. At Knife Point says, I bought a Praetorian tie. It's been sitting in the box for 2 weeks. I'll carry it one of these days. Yeah, they're like little pieces of kinetic sculpture, more than they are a pocket knife that you want to carry. Blade Ogre's good to have you, Blade Ogre. Blade Ogre's working on his first fixed blade knife. James Moore says, I don't do trades. Selling my own knives is complex enough. Invoking the perception of two parties, invoking the perception of two parties of the characteristics and relative values of two knives. I guess I'm not brave enough for that. That's interesting you should say that, because I got to be honest. Like I knew what I was giving was in good shape, and this guy was claiming that this was new in box and he had extra hardware, and I took him at his word, and this worked out. But I totally see what you mean, because in a lot of ways people value things differently, and so you never know if you're talking in the same language. Byron Kennedy says, nice Hinderer. Missed a H drop last night watching videos. What do you mean an H drop? Made last night watching videos. So thank you for the compliments on the Hinderer. So sharp, it cuts the fabric of time. Yes, indeed. And it also punctures it because it's quite a tippy knife. I got to say, I'm a big fan of the Americanized Tanto, but this sort of dramatic forward and actually a relatively shallow blade shape from here to here blade is very interesting to me. Also, the ergos on this are really, really nice. Really, really nice. Nice Eclipse, Mr. Junkie. I just got my Jurassic. Ooh, that's a good one. I want to get that. 3.5-inch spear point tri-way in battle blue and black G10 yesterday. We slept together on our first day. Oh my God. That sounds really nice. I ever since they did the sort of second iteration of the Jurassic where they sort of ditched the goofy scale pattern scales, I've been really interested. It has similar sort of ergonomics as the Eclipse, with that little thumb swale cut out here, and just less angular, more rounded. Let's see, at knife point. As a shake my head. Oh, gotcha. Thank you. So old. Shake my head. Hand to forehead. There must be something like that. Bass like the fish. I got a Triway XM18 3.5-inch spear. Very nice. I always, spear point, I think, was the first one he came out with in the XM, universe, so to speak. I think either that or it's the first one I tuned into. And I still think it is probably the most beautiful of all the blades, except for the Warncliffe and the Bowie, actually, on the XM 24s. G-Man, good to have you here. No trades, but did get a CQC 10. Ooh, nice. Snake on a drop. Very nice. I like the CQC 10. And that one feels big. Something about that makes it feel bigger. Nick says, what year is that Hinderer? I am not sure. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure what year or generation, but I think this might be maybe, I don't know. I'm not even going to speculate. I have to do a little research and find out. But I really like, and here's a detail, somewhat minor detail. I really like this cutout here for the lock. I like it better than on the XM 18, which is serrated. I mean, it's cool and everything, but there was a Hinderer drop last night. I am such a dork. I'm talking about Hinderers. He says H drop, and I'm like, what does that mean? What could that possibly mean? Thank you for clearing that up, Quack. And I'm sorry I'm thick and oblique. I appreciate your patience. The M48 is amazing, says Nick Martino. The M48. Which one is that? North Code Arcane Abyss dropped today. Got in on that. That is a cool looking one. That's a futuristic Bowie folder. We gotta love that from Arcane Designs. I think I have my. No, I don't. I thought I had pulled out my Arcane Designs dagger, which I just think is so cool. Sean M says, I enjoyed your glass breaker video test on the last tabletop. Completely shattered in a split second. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's that was a fun one to do. Plus, my daughter helped me make it. And it was fun to smash. Hey, Edwin, good to have you here, sir. Always a pleasure to have Edwin here. We're talking tonight about trades, but also we're going to talk about how your knife collection has evolved. And this trade that I've been talking about for this Hinderer is part and parcel of that evolution, because I just feel myself drifting in a certain way with what I want to actually own. D-Bass says it's my Hinderer and definitely won't be. It's my first Hinderer probably, and definitely won't be my last. Yeah, they are. I mean, the way they feel in hand, the way they're constructed, the way they're designed, everything about them is awesome. Edwin, I pulled this one out, talking about things I really just want to have in my collection, as opposed to some other things that I just kind of want to check out and maybe live with for a short while. But this made me think of you. Clay Roden says, yeah, the Jurassic and Eclipse are similar in hand. I have an Eclipse on layaway. I can't wait. Awesome. I think you'll really like it. I got to say, I like this knife much more in person, in hand, and than I do in looks. Not in looks, in pictures. I mean, it's a really great knife. Herms Things, good to have you here, Herms. I've probably done 50 or 60 trades, well over 100 deals, including sales on Reddit, IG, Facebook. 99.9% of the knife community is awesome. Just got to do your homework. Yeah, I think you're right. I think people have a healthy sense of what goes around comes around. And or maybe there's something in the temperament of people that are drawn to knives that tend towards honesty. Probably not. Sean M says, just picked up the Petrified Fish PF 919 in blue gray micarta and harpoon D2 blade. It's so beautiful. It's on my night table. That's cool. That's cool. I've been experiencing my first Petrified Fish on which was a gift to the channel that we'll be giving away. But Dave, This Old Sword Blade Reviews, Dave gave me that knife, and he's been reviewing a lot of their stuff, and I'm impressed. It's another impressive company. Manufacturing really good knives for really inexpensive. Nick Martino says, would you ever consider trading your LV? Oh, come on, man. You keep come on, man. You keep asking me. You're going for the heart now. I mean, he you know, first my other Yojimbo, and now this. You want this? No, I absolutely would not. Plus, this has multiple layers of sentimentality built into it, which will never allow me to part with it. Which is, I interviewed all three of the people that Ernest Emerson and Ed Calderon. I interviewed both those guys, and then the guy who made these scales too, Tom Engelson of Blades and Such. So this is like a this is not only super sweet design, but it has a lot of sentimentality to it for me. Rock Soft, good to have you here. Just picked up the Cold Steel Recon 1 Tanto in CTS XHP, used but in perfect condition. That's an awesome knife, and I love the XHP steel. I'm a big fan of XHP steel. I like how it sharpens. I like how it strops up, and it seems to stay sharp. I don't know. I just like it a lot. Billy Spar, good to have you here, Billy. Hey, Bob, finally got notified from Emerson on Elvia waitlist, and it's just as good as everyone has said, if not better. Are you talking about... Oh, I better go look. Is this a release with the Wave? That'd be awesome. I know he's done customs with the Wave. This one should have the Wave anyway. It was just like right off the bat, it should. Thank you, Blade Freak. I appreciate that. Yes, do hit that like button and subscribe and comment. All of that stuff helps this show keep going. James Moore says, I bet many collections have evolved like mine has, gotten more and more expensive. Right, more and more expensive for sure. I mean, that's kind of whether you stick with quote unquote high value knives and you just buy more of them and spend more money that way, or whether your tastes get more expensive. I would have to say that's a given, but what are the things now? That's a sweet Tanto on the Hinderer. Congrats. Well, thank you, sir. What are the things within that range that you are that you want? And I know that mostly for folders, I'm going for the classic built, the classic American built tough as knives, tactical, these knives here, I'm coming back to the classics mostly. This Hovac is not mine, but I will include it in this family portrait. You know what I mean? This is where I keep coming back to, even though there are all these sweet knives that I've tried that I would love to own, love to possess. These are what I carry. These are the kind of things I carry. And so my expensive has gone, to me, these are expensive knives. And my expensive has gone this way. I think James, your expensive has gone a different refined sort of gentlemanly way. Maybe that's not the right word, but I think you know what I mean. Michael Morgan says, are those $600 knives really $300 better than a are all these $600 knives really $300 better than the $300 knife? Doubtful. Well, who knows? I don't know. Let's see. What are my $600 knives? I guess this Strider is a $600 knife. which is a little mind-boggling, I gotta say. I love it, but come on. Snuzz says, I think you're right, Bob. I think knife folks tend to be more direct but honest about things, probably because we all have beat up hands. Yeah, exactly. And plus it's like, you want in it, like, mostly people who buy and sell knives are enthusiasts, and within an enthusiast community you have to maintain a good reputation, especially if you want to continue to buy and sell. And I think most people do. So say that they weren't the most honest, they might be just out of utility. I want to keep buying and selling, so I guess I shouldn't rip this guy off. Clay says, I traded a Benchmade Mini Freak and Osborne 9400 auto for my first Hinderer. Great trade. The Jurassic Triway, this Jurassic is absolutely absurdly fantastic. This knife will be handed down to my son. That's cool. That's a really cool thought. See, I like that. And plus, man, all you had to do was sacrifice 2 Benchmades to get that Hinderer. To me, that's a great deal. Chad says, I just picked up the Damn Designs Banshee Stormtrooper Blade Show exclusive. So the Banshee is pretty cool. That's his new Tanto with the real kind of square blade, except on the top, and it's got the big opening hole. It looks pretty cool. Unfortunately, not waved, but I wish. Who's the guy? Flippin' Bean on Instagram makes an aftermarket thing, Billy, that goes on here. So you take off the let me use the knife cam. You just take off the thumb disc and you screw in sort of an aftermarket wave. It looks really cool, and I meant to get one on his last drop, but I guess I was not, as per usual, I wasn't quite ready and missed it. But I think it's a cool thing. I think it's a cool addition. And it's always a nice thing to have a knife and to have a little personalized touch on it, like these scales, or like if you were to get the Flippin' Bean opener thing. It's cool to just kind of make it your own. David E. says, I just want more knives. I'm over 180. This is a problem. Yeah, it's weird. And you think that just because you know a lot about it and because it's a hobby and all that, you're not being materialistic. But guess what? You are, as am I. I mean, it's like it becomes this thing. Like, I really want to have that blade shape in my hand in person. Like this, to me, great Tanto. The best looking Microtech Tanto out there, I think. This old one. Hag90 says, hi, Knife Junkie. Do you have any thoughts on the Amtac blade series? I think they're cool. I would like to see, I like that sort of triangular shape. The blade shape reminds me a little bit of like a Scottish Skian Do, or like the old Culloden knife from Cold Steel, kind of a triangle, and sort of looks like a Scottish knife. But I would like to see one with the reverse edge. I think that'd be cool to see. I think that knife is not dying for that. I think that knife is ripe for that treatment, a little Pikal action. But I think they're cool looking, and I'd love to check one out. Yeah, for sure. Evening, Bob and Jim. How are you? How you do, sirs? JN, good to see you, sir. Good to see you here. Patty. Patty, I just bought a 200-pound case. It definitely gets more expensive. What case did you get for 200 pounds? I'm curious. Blade Freak says, Bob, that is a fantastic direction. Pride of ownership alone in the American classics is intense. Yeah. And it's not just limited to this. Like I have some Protex. I feel like Protex are a part of it. And Emerson, definitely right here. We got the TRM, Atom. I've got 2 of these things, and I don't have doubles of too many knives. But yeah, like I think this is included. This right here, this is cool. The American Blade Works, made in his garage. Here's one. Oh yeah. 80-20. God. Now, yeah, right. This 80/20 is awesome. At Knife Point, hey, Junkie, this week I bought a CCAT from JB. Oh, sweet. Oh, yes. JB Knife and Tool, thanks to your interview. Awesome. I'm glad to hear it. That is a cool knife. And the story behind it is awesome. Now, JB Knife, here's my JB Knife and Tool knife. This is the, hey, what's up, Brent? Good to see you, man. I like that huge spread of Hinderer collection shot you put up on Instagram. That was pretty awesome. But he designed this knife, but he also designed one that has more of a bulbous shape handle that sort of disappears into your hand and has a smaller Pical style blade. And he made it for his wife. And man, it's awesome. I'd really love to have that. And he's a big guy. And by he, I mean Brian Moreland of JB Knife and Tool. And he's a big guy, and he's done a lot of Filipino martial arts. And to see that knife in his hand, CCAT, what was it? The CCAT? To see it in his hand, it just disappears, and you just see this little blade pop out of the bottom. It's very cool. You got to check out JB Knife and Tool. Clay says, don't tell Hinderer his knife crack is at the 600 level. Yeah, no kidding. You talk about the, yeah. D-Bass says, hey, Bob, you seem extremely knowledgeable on fixed blades, which I am not. How are Bussy knives? I see he uses proprietary steel. Okay, I don't know. I've never held one. I've always loved them from afar, and they used to hold quite a bit of mystique for me. They don't so much anymore, but I am interested, and I've reached out to them to come on to the show, and I've never heard back from them. But they have such a huge role. You know, you go to Blade Forums, there's a whole place where you can buy just Bussy, like in their knife exchange, which is like there is a huge community of Bussy fans out there, lovers, but I don't know. I've just never had one, but I think they must be awesome. Do you remember CMFTW? He carried a giant, he would carry a 7-inch fixed blade knife on him all the time. And for a while he carried a Bussy, but he had it hollow ground. He had someone hollow grind it. And man, that knife looked just so cool. Yeah, I think they're great. Yeah, I messed up on the Hinderer drop, gone in an hour. Damn. Wow. See, you make an awesome product, you prove yourself that way, and then there's no stopping you. You just have to come up with cool designs. And Hinderer keeps doing that. I never got, and I shouldn't say never. I can send you one, Bob. Oh, which one? The CCAT? Which one are you talking about? Clay says, how do you find out when Hinderer are going to make a drop? I would imagine you get on their mailing list on their website, and I would also imagine a Facebook group or Instagram, probably. Those Facebook groups, I've been, not too active. I'm really resistant to Facebook, even though I love Instagram and I know it's the same outfit. Something. Sean M says, have you seen the Bastinelli knives ice cream ice pick? Yes, I love that. Right up Jim's alley. Jim has a collection of ice picks, which is totally gangster. Nick says, KB, he's actually a really nice guy. I could send you one of those thumb disc. Wait, oh, no way. Really? Do you? Oh, sorry. Oh, no way. Really? Do you have an extra one of those? That is cool. I would love to check that out. Thank you, man. I'd appreciate that. Chad says, when I was a kid in the 80s, going to the Makers Guild with my dad, we bought fixed blades such as Pumas, Gerbers, Loveless, and Randall. Now I am more into folders. Chad, do you still have all those knives? Like, here's my... I love these. So right in front of me, I have the Spartan Harzy dagger, which is just fantastically beautiful, and I would imagine really great at its job. David E., I'm over 300 blades, man. They are not all expensive by any means, but yeah, it's a lot. Mama Shredder has cut me off from buying knives once or twice. Just once or twice. You got through those other 300 times, man. Nice. That's a good average. D-Bass says, Clay, certain sites you can sign up for alerts. The official site, you just have to check daily. Interesting. But Chad, do you still have the Randalls? Here's my 16. Such a great knife, the Randall 16. Vintage Tony bows. Ooh, yeah. Very nice. I can't wait to see that. I love those. I've seen them for sale from time to time, and without even looking at the price or looking at what it is. Those Tony Bowes knives were awesome. And actually, oh man, well, we all mourn his loss. Tony Bowes died recently. Oregon Knife Guy says, first rule of Knife Club is you never count your knives. That's a good one. Second rule of Knife Club is you never tell your wife the knife budget. After that, you make your own rules. Budget. That's very, very disciplined of you. I just go hog wild. I'm just kidding. So look, this is starting to tarnish, this brass. I do leave it in the sheath, which is probably not the best thing, but man, I love these Randall knives. And I had some guy come on my Randall review, and he was so high-handed. He was like, that is an unrefined knife. And I'm like, sorry, it doesn't live up to your standards. Obviously you have refined standards. And he's like, yes, I do. Like, that's why I only have 4 knives, because nothing else like lives up to like. I was like, man, that's not what it's about. That's not what it's about. Okay. It's not a bag knife, but it's awesome. And this guy just wasn't hearing it. Blade Freak says, I am on the books for an American Blade Works full tie. Nice. Model 1. Seeing yours just reminded me. My God. Yep. Check in. I'm sure he's busting his ass. He's such a great guy. John. I don't know. Herm's things. Sorry, guys. It's late and I'm forgetting names, man. Most of us are collectors here. I personally want to try everything and keep what I think is cool, mostly carbon fiber and tie. What do you guys collect? Yeah, well, let's answer Herm. What do we collect? And while we're waiting, I collect everything. I like it all. I like swords. I like tomahawks. I like combat fixed blades. I like outdoor fixed blades and EDC fixed blades. I love slip joints. God, I love slip joints. And with the fall coming in, I'm moving back there. But of course, my main thing are great, modern folders, because I can carry those the most out of anything else, even including slip joints, which aren't as comfortable to carry. Northcote says, got a Microtech Auto Hawk. Oh, sweet. This week, you fight your way out of a wet paper. Now I can fight my way out of a wet paper bag. David E says, picked up the 8020S today. Can't wait to get it in hand. Oh, man. Oh, is that the one with the Grivery? The S? The S, right? Oh, or was that 2.5? Sorry, 20.5. Sorry, 20.5. Great knife. Hey, what's up, 2A Dave? Good to have you here. Shooting your D-Bass. I've been trying to get a tie scale for my Hinderer. Seems nearly impossible. Really? Interesting, because I recently bought an aftermarket micarta, from Blade HQ, and they did have some at the time. I'm sure they sell out really quickly, though. Agent Orange Peel. Good to have Agent Orange Peel here. Blade Show West tomorrow. Should be a good time. Yeah, man. I've been seeing the warm-up pictures. I saw pictures that Ben Belkin put up. Looks like just so beautiful there in the West Coast there. 2A says, I'm going on Saturday to Blade Show West. Well, have fun, man. Have fun. Wear comfortable shoes, pack some snacks, bring some water, and lots of filthy lucre, so you can walk out of there with something real real in hand, like a knife. Professor EDC says, hey, Bob, Jim, great to have you here, Professor, always. Hope everyone is doing well and great tonight. Just thought I would drop by and say hello. So, hello, gotta go. It's been a rough day, and it still hasn't finished. Have a good one. Well, Professor, don't let the bastards grind you down, and have a good night. Finish up your work, and then smoke a cigar or drink a whiskey or do whatever you like to do to unwind before bed. Good to see you, sir. Redacted says, every Randall maid I've ever seen was absolutely class. Unrefined is nonsense. Yeah, this guy was nonsense. And he was so like, I honestly, I just wanted to say, man, are you just a pain in the ass? Like, are you just a pain in the ass to be around? Is that what this is about? And so I got in your way? Or is this something we need to hash out here? The 8020s, 20S, the new model, the thinner overall dimensions and hardware. Right. Okay. I remember that now. 0.13 blade stock. Make any good trades lately? This is what we want to know. Have you made any good trades lately? And how has your taste evolved? Is mine devolving? And I don't necessarily even mean that in a bad way. And what I mean by that is, like, there are a lot of great, really cool, really unique designs that I feel like 5 years ago, I'd be falling all over myself to get all the kombu designs. They are so cool. I just don't see myself carrying them. I just don't. I always kind of go back to these things here. And that's, I feel like that's somewhat recent. It's been a slow build up to that. But am I now just limiting myself, or is this just taste, personal taste, and personal taste is what it is? Oregon Knife Guy says, me too, Bob. I have more slip joints than anything else, but I love modern folders also. I also collect tomahawks and older fixed blades. Nice. Yeah, so what is it about the older fixed blades, Oregon Knife Guy? I mean, is it the history? I mean, it is really cool knowing, like, all of these behind me, with maybe one exception, were actual tools that saw action somewhere. A lot of it in the Philippines. And to me, it's kind of cool that it just has that, like, this K-bar, I'm pretty sure, is a World War II K-bar, or possibly Korea. So, who knows what it saw. I do know that it was on a ship somewhere. Clayton says, I wish I could be at Blade Show West. I can't wait for the Atlanta show next summer. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Start saving up now. And don't be like don't go like I went, which was, I'm gonna, there's gonna be so much, it'll be option paralysis. I won't want to buy anything. Like, so just go and be disciplined. That was just ridiculous. I don't even know why I thought I would be even capable of that. Nick says, I've really been into small EDC fixed blades. Like, which ones? Do you like neck knives? You can drop those in your pocket a lot of the time. Blade Freak says, my tastes have gone towards Hoback Hinderer with a splash of Medford. Okay, so I think Blade Freak and I are on similar trajectory, kind of like the very robustly built American classic, kind of like these knives here are like, they're kind of like blue jeans and leather jacket, blue jeans and Red Wing boots, or just like classic motorcycle-y car. I don't know. You know what I mean? Classic American accoutrement, but tough as the day is long. And I put accoutrement in there while I'm talking about tough American-made knives. You know what I'm talking about, though. The guys at Shredder say, our collection consists of knives we really enjoy using. Unless it's strictly for self-defense, then we keep it in pristine condition so it's ready for use if needed. Well, I think that's a good way to go about it. There are some knives that chances are you're never going to use. Like this, my ditch pick. Hopefully that never gets used, because I'm not going to be pulling it out to cut the cheesecake, as they say. Nick Martino says, I've been buying old tools, nice, and refurbishing them. It's fun. That is cool. Do you know DeResta on YouTube? He's a really, really talented craftsman, and he does these build videos of things and also restoration videos of things, and he does them in real high speed, and you just zone out. and watch the whole process. And he's done some axes and some other tools, which I think is really cool, especially with something old that has gotten a lot of use. Quack says, I decided recently I didn't want any Save Queens in my collection, so I traded my custom zirconium zircutai inlay arch nemesis for a Gareth Bull chamois. I love the arch nemesis. Holy mackerel. Koenig Arius and $700 in cash. Holy crap. Wait, for that zirconium zircutai inlay arch nemesis, you got a Gareth Bull chamois, which is not an easy thing to get in the first place, right? Those are very limited and very precious. Koenig Arius, kind of the same, and $700 in cash. Damn, Quack. That's a great deal. I got the pink slip on a Cadillac. I got half an island in the Bahamas. Byron Kennedy says, I think a collector has to diversify some, as much for the knowledge and history as well as the handle, handle experience. Yeah, I think you're right about that. And having a YouTube channel or doing this show is great, because I've made a lot of generous friends, who like Dave, This Old Sword Blade Reviews, keeps sending me awesome stuff, or Tier 1 keeps sending me awesome fixed blades. And I get to handle all these knives. And this one in particular, the Roman from We Knives, so cool, designed by Alessandra De Santis, an Italian woman with a company called Hydra Designs. She has these amazing designs, and I always thought this was really cool. I love the Italian connection. I love the historical connection. It looks cool. It doesn't come with a pocket clip, and that's kind of almost a deal breaker for me, or at least it's enough excuse not to get this very cool knife. Sorry. And but I got a chance to handle it and make that determination, which is great. So this is a long way of me agreeing with you. D-Bass says, on Jared's live on Wednesday, I heard you say that you live in Virginia. I live in Northern Virginia. Where do you live, D-Bass? I'm curious. Let me know. It's like, I would love to do a knife meetup. I've met a couple of people from Virginia. Knives Fast is also from Virginia. And a gentleman that I did this trade with for the Hinderer. Oh, did I mention I got a new Hinderer? How cool. Love this thing. And I think the bronze hardware with the green make it look like World War II. Like World War II kit, kind of. And I really like that. The Tanto, however, and not so much. But there we go. So, yeah, this is how my collection has evolved. But look at this. This is something I would like to add to my collection, even though it's not quite in this realm of things. Look at this. Oh my God, this thing is beautiful. This is the slayback from Monterey Bay Knives, and designed by Ray Laconico, who, I'm sorry, man, that guy just makes amazing designs. Simple, beautiful, and this Warncliffe sheep's foot thing, this is a Warncliffe, is just gorgeous. The way it comes up towards a peak, like a Brokeback sax, and then drops down and has a curve, and oh God, and then it's I can't remember the steel now. Sorry. Before I do the video, I'll do my research, I promise. But it's got this great here. Let me get my focus going here. Got that great. You can see where the two steels meet. Beautiful design. Love this thing. This is from Lefty EDC. He loaned me this, and he also loaned me this McGinnis design Monterey Bay Knives knife. Just so cool. Jerry McGinnis, another just incredible maker of knives. I follow a guy, what's his name, Fresno something, on Instagram, who collects McGinnis custom knives, and they're just drool worthy. And I think he's a pretty young guy too, which I love, because that just means many, many more years of great knives. And that means one day I might be able to have one. Nick says, I love Laconico knives. Yeah, man, just beautiful. G-Man says, I start with Spyderco and now collect Emerson's, TRMs, American Blade Works, and occasionally a Benchmade. Life is good. G-Man, I like how your tastes I like the way it's gone. That's awesome. That would be awesome to do a knife meetup, says D-Bass. That would be cool. I'd love to, yeah. We take over a cafe table or booth area or a diner and just lay it all out. Yes, that would be cool. I'd love that. Let's see. So I guess I've already shown off the Eclipse, but anyone else think that Hinderer should do that switchblade that they were talking about, or were that they celebrated? You know, when Ohio's switchblade law was changed, they made an automatic, and I haven't heard anything about that. And actually, they didn't have it at Blade Show, so I was just curious: is this happening? Are they going to actually release one? Does anyone know? I'm curious. Maybe Brant, if Brant is still listening or watching, maybe he knows. Not sure. So Tactile Knives. We all know Tactile Knives. They made the Rockwall, and they are now making well, all of their knives are going to be named after counties in Texas. And their latest one, I'm not sure what they're going to be calling it, but it's their hang on. Do I know what they're going to call it? It's their 8-inch chef's knife, and they're actually doing a Kickstarter. I got an email saying that they have gone live with their pre-order. I am not getting in on this one, though. I should, just to have. I really could use another awesome kitchen knife. The ones that I have are good, but I've always kind of had a wandering eye for the kitchen knives. This is 14C28N, and it's an 8-inch Santoku. Kind of cool. The black handle, I gotta say, black handle turns me off a little bit. But I think that this is a pretty low res picture here. So I think there's stuff I'm not seeing, maybe texturing or who knows. But cool. I'm glad to see that they're just, continuing to kick butt. I love the Rockwall. Oh, it's Rich Light. Okay, it's Rich Light on the handles, with a little bit of their. Okay, of course, it has a little bit of their signature tactical texturing, not tactical, tactile. You know what I'm saying? It has some of their texturing on there. All their pens, all their knives, everything has a little bit of texture milled in there. That's their whole thing. So of course this has it. I just couldn't see it from the picture. So I am excited. You know what I never did? It just occurs to me. I never did a pocket check. So we gotta do that. So Jim just had the Kickstarter up. If you're interested, go to Kickstarter and look up Tactile Knives, Chef's Knife, and get in on it. It looks like they're doing pretty well already, but yeah, they know how to grind a knife too. So yeah, let me do a quick pocket check, because today was different from most days, because I knew that halfway through the day I was going to be in the possession of a new Hinderer, and that I might very well, I was very likely to put it in my pocket, this one right here. And I was right. So I wanted a knife that wasn't going to compete directly with it. In other words, I wasn't going to carry one Hinderer and kick it out for the new one. And I also wasn't going to carry any number of these knives. What I did carry was a knife I really enjoy and is a very fidget-friendly knife, if that's your thing. And that is this. Yes, the Scorpion from Off Grid Knives. A really nice knife. This is a WeBuild. Excuse me, WeBuilt knife, and it just shows. It is so well made. It flips beautifully. It's got this nice sort of angular handle that reminds me a little bit, just a little bit. And then when I put them next to each other, not so much, but reminds me in memory, let's say, of the handle of the SOCOM. Kind of angular, kind of tapering towards the butt, and kind of boxy, but very comfortable, and a great S35 VN blade. I love that blade shape. Great jimping on that thumb ramp, and then this sort of dip here, just forward of that thumb ramp. I really like. It's very comfortable for putting your thumb way up there. You know, I haven't actually done any feather sticking with it, but it would work great on a push cut like that. Just a great knife. So I carried this today, knowing that it's not in my it's not on the same shelf as the Hinderer to me. So it wouldn't be a problem putting this as a second stringer for the second half of the day. Though I just walked around with both of them, so I didn't put that away. But I had the Broner on me again. This is the Jason Stout Broner, bro. It's a piece of D2 and beautifully milled for scraping and prying and taking the tops off of bottles and other sort of stuff. I guess you could open a package with it. If you didn't have a knife, you could use this edge a little bit, or this corner. A great little pocket tool. It's I'll either throw this is kind of like my quill, you know, my which is upstairs, sorry, my Wingard Wearables quill. It's something I like to throw in the pocket, and if I'm not using it, I like to fuss with it. It's like a worry stone, if you will. So I had that, and then lastly, I had this awesome Camco pocket knife that my brother gave me for my 50th birthday, that he got at an antique store in Amish country in Ohio. And this was a well-used, well-loved knife, you know, that it had a bit of rust on it, the red kind, and it had a big chip out of the tip area, which I just sharpened out, and it sharpened pretty easily, so that steel is nice and soft. And by nice and soft, I mean it strops up easily, it hones quickly, and it's a great little just drop it in your pocket knife. So it's got that wickedly sharp clip point blade and an even sharper scalpeline style pen blade there. So great little knife. And then this sort of pearlescent early plastic handle. It's like a Del Rennie kind of thingy. Very nice knife. I love it just because, like we were talking before, it's got history. Some dude carried that in his pocket. I can tell, you know, that got a lot of carry and a lot of use. So yeah, this is what I was carrying today. What were you guys carrying? Sorry, I didn't ask right up front. I was so curious about your trades and such. So anyone, pocket check, anyone carry something cool? Walt says, my pocket carry this evening was my 80 20.5 Wee Knife Deacon and Leatherman rebar. Ooh, that's a nice combo. You got you've got your bomb-proof robust, you got your cool designy flourish, and then you've got your total utility. I like it. Good setup there, Walt. Clay says started collecting 4 months ago. Gone from Benchmade 940-2 and 945, which I like. Fell quick to Protex. Yes. Giant Mouse Ace. Yep. That's a nice looking knife. It's cheaper and safer than the bars and Crazy Crack. Yeah. I'd check Crazy Crack chicks. Yeah, no doubt about that. And everyone needs them. And say you amass a huge collection, a huge unwieldy collection that you feel guilty about from time to time, you can always justify it by saying, if heaven forbids society collapse, or at least if the currency collapsed, you would have a good bit of trading goods. You know, you have a whole case full of knives. You could trade that for food down the line. Of course, there are some that you would keep for yourself, but look at it that way. Maybe you have to tell the wife that. At Knife Point says, who did you say is doing the Kickstarter named after Texas counties? This is Tactile Knives. They have the Rockwall flipper, which I didn't bring out tonight, which has done very well. It's a little 3-inch, beautifully milled titanium and like 20 CV flipper knife. And then they just released a clip point slip joint that's pretty cool. looking, and that's called the Bexar, I believe. And then this one is their chef's knife, and I don't know what it's called, but yeah, it's Tactile Knife. And Tactile Knife is a company that grew out of Tactile Turn Pen Company, and their whole thing is their awesome milling and chops with that stuff. Caleb says, today I had the Microtech Hellhound Combat Troodon. I love that. And the Sharp by Design Micro Evo Typhoon. That's some classy carry there, Caleb. That Hellhound Combat Troodon. So cool, man. So cool. I love the Troodon. I love the Combat Troodon. I accidentally bought the regular size Troodon thinking I was getting a great deal. And I was like, oh, it's small. But still, that Hellhound blade is crazy. I've always wondered, and maybe you can help me out. Is that a triple edge? Is it sharp on the bottom, the front, and then on the top also there's a little swedge? Is that swedge sharp? Let me know. I've always been curious about that. Today I had the Slim MIDI. Oh, very nice. That's probably my favorite Hinderer at this, or Medford. The ZT0640, a nice choice. Taylor's Eve Witness Barlow. I don't know what Taylor's Eve Witness. What is this? And a Case Teardrop Jack. Love that Case Teardrop Jack. What is this Taylor's Eye? Oh, Taylor's Eye Witness Barlow. Got to look that one up. All right. I'll have to look that up. But I'll have to write it down because I won't remember it. Okay. Snuzz says, remember to hit that like button, fellas. Hit that like button. Tap. A little tap is all it needs. Pleasure your finger with the click or tap. That is true. And while you're there, subscribe, leave a comment, do all those little things that hit the notification bell. Actually, do that. Hit the notification bell and share videos if you can. If you feel like someone would be into this stuff. Quack says, got the Cody Eustler duck with me. It's very Sebenza. Oh, I know which one you're talking about. It's very Sebenza-esque, but with ceramic bearings and 20 CV. How do you like it? This one has like, does this one have a fuller that you use to open it? Like a fuller that is kind of squared off and runs along the top? I'm curious. I think I know which one you're talking about. Oh, yeah. Patty's been showing one of these off recently. I like this. This is a good looking knife. Thank you, Jim. That's greatly appreciated. CQC 13, awesome. And a TRM Atom, very nice choice. The 13 is one of my absolute favorite. D-Bass, thank you, sir. I'm glad I found your channel, Bob. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, D-Bass. That's so greatly appreciated. I love it. You know, I was on Jared's show last night, and when he would get a super chat, he had a bell that he rang, and I thought that was cool. So maybe I'll do something like that at some point. Get a cool sound effect or something. At Knife Point says, so thank you again, D-Bass. Much appreciated. Knife Point says, today I carried my Jerry Moen Mini Mongoose. Such a cool knife. I love the shape of that blade. And fixed blade in Burple, bluish purple. Very nice. I like that. But the Mongoose fixed blade, I don't think I've seen that, but I love the that Mongoose flipper, man. So cool. I had the non-flipper Fullard Spear XM18 on me today. That one's a beauty. You've been showing that one off a bit. That's got a black blade. I like the way that looks, man. It's got that fuller. Nick says, I'm glad to see you carrying a pry tool. That's awesome. Yeah, you know, like I don't pry frequently. Thank you, Jim. I don't pry frequently, but but when I do, I like to use this. No, I just really like this tool. And like I said, a lot of it just has to do with having it on me. I would like to put it on my keychain at some point, but right now on my keychain, I have the little Launch 9 switchblade on there, or automatic on there. And it's nice because I love the way aluminum looks when it wears. And of course, it's rubbing against my keys and everything. It's starting to look pretty cool. Michael Morgan says, full-size Ritter Hogue in 20 CV with purple G-mask is so nice. Love that knife. And a Pena Bronco, that is also a cool knife. In S35 VN with Thai micarta, my first Riot made knife. Right on. What do you think? You think Riot knows how to put together a knife? I think they do. Ketmuk, how's it going, sir? BGM Knives. Oh, sweet. Was that the Javelin too? Kephart. Oh, JV-2 Kephart. Very nice. Sog Terminus XR and the Eldris. Big fan of the Eldris is Kepmuk Neshart. Chad says, I have the Hinderer Eclipse Bowie and the Buck, 1988 yearling slip joint. Oh, something going on in this basement. Let's see. I mean, in the studio, in the high up studios above the magical land of Anandale. Carried my CRK large Sebenza 31, very nice. Damascus, nice. And Pena X Series Sega flipper today. Sega flipper. I usually say Segaya flipper. I don't know. I'm usually pretty good at pronouncing things, but I don't know how you would say that. Clay says, my wife put me on double secret probation, including restrictions on all things to do with knives and money. Yeah, that can happen. Yeah. I feel like recently, listen, Mr. G in Vermont says, carried my Protect Malibu today. So nice. I received it last week and it hasn't been out of my pocket. Well done, sir. Good snag. The funny thing, just lately, I've been way more, just feeling more like, and maybe that's part of what I'm talking about with the evolution of I still want to buy every knife. I want them all. But now I'm kind of only spending money on the things I know I'm going to carry. And that's mostly, like I'm saying, these kind of knives in the 3.5 to 4 inch blade size, super robust built, American mostly made. And that's what I'm most interested in now, because I'm not spending as much. It has not been from my wife saying so, but it may as well be. Nick Martino says, today was my Satin M4 Yojimbo. Leatherman Skeletool Olight Warrior Mini White River. I love that Mini White River M1 Caper Pro and my Bills Zippo. I have been carrying, well, not carrying, but when I go out and smoke a cigar, I have been lighting it with this Zippo. I know a lot of people think that you don't light a cigar with a Zippo, but I say, that didn't bother guys on the battlefield in World War II, right? If they were smoking a cigar. So anyway, I know it probably ruins the taste. I bet Edwin is I don't know. He might have an opinion about that. But anyway, this my brother gave me, and it's got a 1935 Varga girl on it. And what was his first name? Varga. I can't remember his first name, but he did all these really just really nice paintings of pinup girls, hose and baking cakes and smoking cigarettes and doing things in a manner, in a pinup manner. So that's my Zippo. Or one of them. Herms says today's carry was a Bradley. Oh, Bradley. Moraeus Vector and a Rexford Rut utility tool. I always thought that Rexford Rut was cool. That little utility tool. How cool. But Bradley. I remember Bradley. What happened to Bradley? James says, got my Snex Vision R again tonight, Bob. Damn. Okay, so James is one of 32 people, I believe, 32, who scored one of these Snex Vision R's. That is beautiful. I even love that little hole in the blade. It's in an unlikely place. And I love the blade shape, and the lock looks cool. I mean, that whole knife just looks like incredible. We bought a Ritterhogue Mark III in S45 VN to give away, but before we give it away, why not carry it a little? Yes, no doubt. No doubt. I have one of those, and that's my one and only S45 VN blade. I love that thing. Edwin was carrying his CQC 8, nice choice, the banana blade, and the GEC 35 beer and sausage. Goes together like bread and butter. Amen, man. So, Edwin, how do you feel about lighting a cigar with a Zippo? 2A Dave says, Para 3 Maximet, very nice. And my Smock M4 black jade, very nice. Those smock blades are oddly compelling. I on paper, I don't think they're that pretty, but they look. I really like the blades. I don't know. I've never had one. I'm interested. Clay says, carried my Jurassic today, Triway Protec Runt 5. Those runts are cool, man. I like the new blade shape on the runts. Mr. Fileto, good to have you here, sir. Always a pleasure. Mr. Man, he's got a killer collection. And I was lucky enough to check one out. I have my video of the three Winklers that Mr. Fileto loaned me coming out. I don't remember what day I scheduled it for, but it's coming up in the next 2 weeks. So Mr. Fileto says, hi, y'all. Was on a Wee Knives kick today and had the Black Void Opus and the Mini Buster. Mini Buster, another Snex design. Very cool. Very cool. Black Void Opus. I like the name. Agent, that sounds like a sci-fi, sci-fi thriller title. Agent Orange Peel says, Chris Reeve Umnumzan Intanto like yours. It's like a mini katana. Plus Emerson Carnivore, very nice. And a GEC 92. Agent Peel, I like the cut of your jibs, sure, sir. Agent Orange, that is sweet. That's a nice carry. This Umnumzan Tanto is just love this thing. And I love the little protrusion, the little glass breaker on the tang here. So you can, I kind of want a tactile turn bolt action pen. Yes. I say yes. I do too. I was that was one that was kind of on the short list for my birthday for my wife, and then she ended up throwing me an extravagant party, and we just called it even. So, but a tactile turn bolt action pen, that's the exact one I want, and they have 3 different sizes, and I think I want the medium one because I do like to put pens in my front pocket. Here's a cool one. If you like fountain pens and like small pens, this is the Koiko Lilliput, and let me hold it up. They're Lilliputian. I think it's Lilliput, but it's tiny. This one is in aluminum, and then I got an aftermarket bronze clip here, and it's just really nice, and it writes beautifully. It writes really well, and I love the Koiko ink. And it doesn't explode in your pocket. Just drop it in, with the nib up, and you'll be fine. But it's an inexpensive and cool little pickup if you like fountain pens, but also like to drop pens in your pocket. But there are plenty. Actually, my TWSBI you can do that with, and my Safari. Anyway, love pens. D-Bass says, was carrying my ZT0562 in M390. Such a classic, man. And we were talking, we've been talking a lot about hinderers. One of my favorite hinderer grinds is that slicer grind that's present on the 562. I think yes, it looks cool. I mean, who doesn't love the way that grind line just kind of reaches up to the spine? It's so cool looking. Walt says, as usual, my girlfriend called while I was watching knife videos. Now I have to put a stop to this harassment. How can I put a stop to this harassment? Just start talking to her about it. Make her listen, just like she makes you listen to her stories about work. Talk to her about knives until she's like, I don't want to hear this anymore. Go watch your videos, get it out of your system, and then come back to me and settle up next to me on the couch. So you never know. But I would say just start talking about knives to her and really include her in your hobby, and she'll stop. Or she'll embrace it, and either way you win. Snuz says, Sea Snake in Scout Carry. Love that knife. That's a Mike Emler design. The blacked out version, of course. A K-Bar hobo knife for lunch today. That's class with a little bit historical touch. And my brass Kiridashi in the back pocket. I love that you use a hobo knife for lunch. I got to get a hobo knife. I do. I mean, I have my whole silverware set up. I have at lunch in my little cabinet, a little cabinet above my desk. I have good olive oil and good vinegar and some salt and like real silverware. I hate plastic silverware. That's my thing. Like I don't care about straws for some reason, but I really do care about. I'm like silverware. We should all have our own silverware, so we're not using plastic. Not only do we not want to eat off of plastic silverware, but also the one use aspect of it is a little maddening, especially when you could have cool silverware. And who doesn't like a nice long tined fork? We're all pointy oriented people. We should like forks and spoons too. Max Maker says today's EDC was a razzle cliff used to cut twine and plastic mulch, and the PM2 used to remove 2 dead tomato plants from their cages and also cut plastic mulch. So this is cool about Max the Maker. Every week when he comments, he talks about how he uses his knives, and it's always great to hear, because I think last week, Max, you were talking about you have some animals on your property, I think, and I think you talked about opening feed bags, maybe swine. Maybe my mind is conflating things, but I like that you add how you use your knives, because oftentimes, I'm like, I carried this awesome thing and only pulled it out to flip with it while I was driving. Manny Z, good to have you. Riot Wave, the Riot Wave. Oh, I remember the Riot Wave. I like them all. Let's see. Clay says, I saw you on Jared's channel last night. Glad to know you, Mr. Junkie. Well, thank you, Clay. That was awesome. I had so much fun. He's a good host, and we had a good conversation. He's a good guy to talk with, and so knowledgeable about knives, has an awesome collection, and has single-handedly saved, let's see, how many knives has he saved? Well, he saved my 20 CV Yojimbo, and he saved, which I dropped on the tip, and a Yojimbo, dropped it on the tip. And let's see, and he saved this, which I dropped on the tip and put an incredible mirror polished edge on. And then I think one more, but I don't remember what it is. But yeah, no, I think that was it. Just 3. But yeah, Jared is a gentleman and a scholar and a freaking awesome sharpener, man, and a great show host. So yeah, I know everyone here knows who he is, so I don't have to say go check him out. ZT750 and Cold Steel Airlight. Cold Steel Airlight, I know, and the Cold Steel Airlight has a nice Tanto tip, much like the Umnumzan, which I really like. But they also have a drop point. But the other knife I was unfamiliar. Wait, what was the other knife? Can you go back, Jim? Sorry. Oh, the 750. Is that the new one with all the voids kind of cut into it and with the spear point kind of blade? Byron says, magnify the ting from the Avant for your bell. That would be awesome. Unfortunately, the Avant is no longer in my possession. I had to send that back to Jake. So unfortunately, it's not here. But yeah, that was shing. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. I like that. Some sort of shing sound. And though I can't do the Avant, I can do something else and get that sound effect, maybe even at work. Oregon Knife Guy says Taylor Eyes Witness is the very old Sheffield company that still makes their high-end knives by hand. The one you showed was their hardwood series or worker series. Mine is the high-end ram's horn. Ooh, nice. I love the shape and the width of that handle. It looks like it must be so comfortable in hand. Well, boys, I have to head out. You all have a good night. Bryce, it was a great pleasure to have you, and always a pleasure. Thank you so much again for your generosity at loaning me this knife. I will make my videos shortly of it and get this back to you. I am not going to keep it. Worry not, and have a good night. Take care, man. Quack says, no, the Duck's blade is basically the same as the Sebenza, except it has a swedge instead of a crowned spine. Oh, interesting. All right, I'm going to have to look that one up. I know I've seen it. I'm not sure in my mind if I know exactly which it is. Blades and Fades, good to have you here. What's up, brother? Saw you on Neves and sub to you. Thank you. That was awesome. I got to thank Jared for having me on his show. I think a couple of people tonight have mentioned that they got to know me there, and what a great place, because man, his He's easy to talk with. Oregon Knife Guy says, if you really want to see what Taylor's Eye Witness can do, check out Slick Slicer's channel. Slick Slicers, got to check that out. I don't think I know that. Well, I know I don't know Slick Slicers. Blade Ogre says, Arctic Storm PM2 and my Ogre Spike Bowie. That's Blade Ogre's own creation. Also haven't got it yet, but just bought the Mkusta katana. Mkusta, what is up with them? I am intrigued, and I have seen, like, they've been kind of lurking around the medium to high end in terms of production, and I don't mean high end, but for a long time, quietly. Like, I remember Nothing Fancy had some Mkustas, and at the time when I was watching Nothing Fancy back then and he was showing them off, they were beyond my reach, and so I always kind of had them up there in my mind as a very expensive knife. But they're cool looking. Why don't they get more attention? I'm curious. Nick Martino says, awesome, my oldest Zippo is 1955. I collect them. Wow, 1955. That's awesome. I had one that my brother and I both got when we were in high school. That was, or he was in college, I was in high school. That was a replica of maybe one of the first Zippos. It was bigger than the regular size and square, like totally boxy. It was awesome. I know I have it somewhere in my effects. Snuz says, Alberto Vargas. Alberto, thank you. Varga. I don't think he had an S. Varga. Alberto Varga. Yeah, man, such cool stuff. I love this kind of, if you don't know Alberto Varga, thank you again for the first name. Definitely look him up. His stuff is awesome. Bill S, how you doing, Bill? Hey, Bob and everyone, taking a break from studying, need to have some blade time, and how perfect. It's Thursday Night Knives. I can't carry knives in scrubs, but was carrying my BMG in spirit. You can't carry knives in scrubs? I bet you could carry this. TRM Adam, and they just did a drop, so I'm sure it's sold out already, but this is a great thin light svelte knife, and I think a man with tastes such as yours would love this. Plus you can swap out the scales and do cool stuff with it, and it's a lot lighter than a super CQC 15. Nick says a Zippo just seems right to light a cigar. I think so too. Especially if you've been chomping on it for a while. Hey, boy, come over here. Sean M says, still love my Gerber Shard. Gerber Shard. Shard. Too many knives named Shard. Kaiser has a Shard, and someone else has a Shard as well. A third, I think. Blades and Fade says, full tie XM18, 3.5 Harpoon Spanto, SOCOM Elite Manual, and Maximet Para 3. Very nice. SOCOM Elite here. Let's see. I have two of the three here. Let's see. Here's my SOCOM Elite. I think I showed that before. And what was the other one? Oh, you had the Spanto Harpoon. So check this out. I had a regular Spanto. This is Gen 4, I think. And I had it hollow ground. And I dig that. I love it. To me, it really harnesses the spirit of the Spanto. Curious what you think. Edwin says, I love my Zippos. I use the butane Zippo double torch insert. No issues on my cigars with that. That is a good idea. One of those little jet butane things. Brant says, my EDC is Hinderer Skinny XM 3.5 Harpoon Spanto. Another one. Man, see, my viewers have awesome taste. And Wenger SD Classic and Olight Baton too. Hey, man, what's up? I was just reading your words. Hey, Patty. How's it going, sir?
Hey.
Hello there. Have I got you?
Hey, it's great to see you. Hey, Brant. How's it going, man? What do you think of my new Hinderer?
I see that nice
it's right
Eclipse.
Here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. I dig the Eclipse. Patty, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think so. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
I hear you pretty good too.
Good to see you. Good to see you, man.
Hold on, I gotta be all hindered out here.
Hey, nice, very stylish, man. I was Patty. I was really admiring your. I don't know if it was your latest video, but today I was just watching the video at work, the one where you show the 3 different sets of knives. Hey, Shane, good to have you here. as always.
Yeah, that was a fun video. I really enjoy doing videos like that where you can really get in and pick 9 knives and get them all on the table. I enjoy that kind of video rather than just doing one tabletop. And I'm doing more and more of those type of videos where you just pick a whole stack of knives and get stuck in.
Yeah, and I think people like those kind of videos because you get if I'm doing a close-up video on this Hinderer Eclipse and you're just not interested in the Hinderer Eclipse, you're not going to watch it. But if I'm doing a video on these are my 12 most favorite knives right now, you're more likely to want to see what those things are and to get all that. Snuzz says, yeah, I agree, Bob. I refuse to eat with plastic cutlery, and it's offensive to my delicate working man sensibilities. Agreed. Oh, there it is. That's the knife, man. That's
the tailor's eyewitness, Bob, with the big butt on it. It's really comfortable in hand.
Oh, yeah, man.
All handmade. It's just beautiful.
Shape of that handle is something. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bob.
Oh, no. You were going to say?
Yeah, it's one of the most comfortable Barlows you'll ever hold. It's just, and so tactile to touch. It really is just a beautiful worry stone, as you call it.
Yeah, definitely. And that wood looks so warm.
But this subject tonight, I think, is fantastic because your knife evolution really does change over the years that you're in it. And in the beginning, you have this set thing. This is what I want to have. And in 3 years' time, it's changed. In 5 years' time, it's changed. And I think that's what keeps the hobby fresh, especially for us who've been around a wee while and you're doing YouTube and stacks of knives pass through your hands. It doesn't matter what price they are. It's just the fact that you're seeing lots of different knives. So I think you have to evolve. Otherwise, you would just become incredibly stale.
Oh yeah, definitely stale. And that's the thing. I mean, like this hobby or this industry is always presenting new options. And then there's a thriving secondary market. So you can just go down any sort of rabbit hole. Bob, have you done many other chats with Jared? He's been on the Knife Junkie podcast and he's been on this show a bunch. And yeah, we've done a lot of stuff together, it seems. He was on the birthday bash and he was on one of the town halls, I think, maybe. Savivi McKenna will carry nicely in scrubs. Yes. I think there are a lot of knives you could carry in scrubs. Patty, we were talking before about how, and I know Brant knows about this too, given the collection video, the collection picture I saw of his Hinderers today, but yes, you do buy more expensive knives, but it becomes, to me, it's less about keeping up with the Joneses, so to speak, and having to get like all the most expensive knives. It's like developing micro tastes. Do you know what I mean? Like, like my micro taste is what I've been showing tonight. And you could give them some adjectives like roughly 4-inch titanium, beefy, American made, tactical, all that kind of stuff. Yep. Shane, Patty, you're coming in loud and Irish, sir, says Shane Gables.
I should hope so, Shane.
Blades and Fade says,
I call them little sub collections. You have a collection of knives and then it breaks down into lots of little sub collections. I mean, when I first started, it was all locking knives because I'd never really used them over here in this country. And when I found out you could buy them, I just went mad to get locking knives. Now I've gone the opposite way and gone back to slip joints that I had when I was a child. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But I mean, I still love locking knives. But in reality, in my lifestyle, I don't use them. And like you were saying earlier on, there's not much point in having a whole drawer full of knives you don't use.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're charging admission for people to come in and check them out, Blade Ogre says, "Oh, will there be another town hall someday?" I love those. Yes, okay, yes, Chris, you're acting as my conscience. That is something I want to do, and I've slacked on that for a while. So yeah, we will do another town hall. I actually had a dream roster, and I'll see if I can get those guys together. What is this, Patty?
This is the vintage Tony Bowes I bought.
That's the one. Okay.
This is the case. It's the like the dog leg jack, two-bladed.
Nice. Those are so rare right now.
Oh, the fit and finish, I can't really show you on here, but
Patty,
the
the
fit
one
and finish on this knife is just immaculate. And it's AWL 34 steel.
Oh,
It's
nice.
just absolute. The walk and talk, it's centered completely up the center. And it's funny, you were talking earlier on about buying off the interweb or whatever we call it, Instagram and all, and you can have a bad experience.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you've seen Big Red's video this week. He had sent a case knife back to get fixed.
Oh,
by Case. Did you see the return video? What they sent them back?
No. I saw it was a Russell lock, right?
Yeah. It was atrocious when it came to him, and he sent it back, and he put a video up. I think it was yesterday, showing the return back from Case.
What it looked like.
It was sinful. What Case sent him back? So, I mean, we can talk about getting ripped off on Instagram, but when the major companies are doing it to you, what chance do you have? Do you know what I mean? I mean, if Hinder had done that, he would lose credibility overnight.
Yeah.
But that's
true.
It would just, a custom maker would just lose his whole credibility if he done something like that.
K Mason asks, what's Patty's channel? It's Patty's Potato Peelers. Definitely check him out. But you're right. You couldn't get away with that. I mean,
no.
So they just sent him crap back? That's terrible, man.
Well, they tried to fix that knife. That you've seen the state of that knife. They actually must have just put it in a vise and tried to squeeze it together, but they just made holes in the back spring in different places and sent it back like that.
Oh.
I just couldn't believe it. It's the worst case of just, I don't give a damn, give us your money.
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
Resting on your laurels. Dan says, Dan, good to have you here, sir. I guess mine hasn't evolved as much as some. Don't have the budget to do that. But you raise an interesting point. Wish I did. But the quality of what I buy has changed. There's inexpensive knives and there are cheap knives. And that's the point. That's more what I'm getting at. Evolve doesn't necessarily mean that you're spending more money on your, right, exactly. It might not mean you're spending more money on knives. It might mean you're doing more research. It also, we're existing now in a climate that has so many great, relatively inexpensive knives out there that you can have a collection of, outstanding quality $30 knives with really cool designs. That's just how it is right now. So this is a great time. What is that, Brent?
This is the Leatherman Shred.
That's a Leatherman, isn't it?
That's a Leatherman. It's TSA approved. You can literally, it's got every tool you can think of. Bottle opener.
What?
It's got a wrench. It's got
I'm sure I can get arrested for that over in Ireland around my neck.
Really?
That's kind of kinky.
So do you wear that on your wrist, Brent?
Oh yeah, every day. I wear it every day.
That is awesome. That is really cool. I think I've seen that before, but so let me ask you something with the tools on that. I mean, obviously it's got little drivers and stuff. How do they work though? I mean, how is the handhold for it?
You can grasp it just like that, and you can literally just tighten your whatever knife you have. A Hinder, or it's got, let's see, a T8, sometimes a T8, that's not a T8, but it's got every single tool, and it even has a cell phone thing that you can open the SIM card in.
Oh, no way.
That is clever.
I need to find the box.
Like a little pick, like a little thing.
Yeah, literally like a little pick. It's all included in this, and literally it's just a little clasp.
Isn't it amazing how much EDC has just jumped over?
That is true.
There's nothing much they haven't invented anymore.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's very crazy. I mean, before I started collecting these, I was collecting case knives. for many years. And
I do still love a good case knife, and there is such a thing. I think you have to I know after Big Red's video and what you were just talking about, it's kind of atrocious, that he was treated that way. But I have a few really great case knives, and some of them are really inexpensive, and then others others aren't, but they're good.
This is what I was carrying today. I'm such a peanut.
I love the peanut, man.
Case peanuts are awesome.
The case peanut was I'm in my tracksuit bottom in a caravan. That done all my work today.
Have you seen the somewhat rare? I would like to get one. Mini or micro trappers, so that they're about the size of a peanut, but they have the clip point and the spade blade.
Trappers, you mean?
Yeah, I mean mini or micro. I mean they're really small. They're like peanuts.
I have one that's called the Butterbean, and it's one of the rarest ones they ever made.
But Butterbean is a canoe.
Oh, it's a small canoe.
A mini canoe.
Yeah.
They call it the Butterbean.
yeah. But what I mean is, I'm talking about the size of a Butterbean, but it's a trapper with the.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they started making those again.
Yeah, I'd love to get one, man.
My favorite right now, I'm trying to get. Yes, I'm a Hinder collector, but a cheetah. I love the case cheetahs. And
yes,
there's one being released. Did I see it today? I think there's somebody's releasing a cheetah, whether it's case or not.
I wonder.
I think GDC's making one.
The what?
Who?
Sorry.
GDC. I think GDCs are making them now. I don't know who's making them now, but
I'm sure I seen it today somewhere.
Wait. I have two things to add here, and I want to address James's comment here. But could it be knives and could it be collectorknives.net and Fox? Because I have a prototype.
Could well be, yeah. It could well be. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere today.
So James,
I do like that lion steel there, that lion steel jack.
Oh, this is a
no. That's a best man. I'm not talking about the best man. I'm talking about that. This
is not a best man.
I thought it was like a best man.
This is a they actually this is
okay. There's the Fox Knives. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So they just released that. Yeah, this one. Are you talking about this one here, Brent?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Gitana.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought it looks like a jackknife, man.
Do you not find, Bob, that Gitano looks massive when you put it out, but it sits in the pocket amazing?
Oh yeah, I love this thing.
It just pops in a pocket.
And it has a clip, and it really helps. This is for me, it's a great back pocket knife. James Moore, I'm sorry, Jim, can you put James back up? Kepmuk likes the Gitano. James Moore says, when you figure out what you really like in your own knives, you don't have to deal with FOMO, fear of missing out, so much that you can focus on getting the knives that satisfy you instead of what's popular or hype knives. Yes, sir. Well said. Yeah. And that's kind of what I've, the slow process I've been going through.
Oh, Bob, have you been able to do, like this last year, probably, I have sold nearly most of my collection.
Oh, wow.
Of knives that I'm not using and reinvested it into my slip joint collection, which has just grown. But I haven't invested a lot of money. I've sold off the knives that I had, kept the ones I like, and reinvested it in my new favorite knives, for want of better.
Yeah. Have a good night, Snuz. No, I have not. I would like to.
It's a hard process.
I've just acquired more. I have not done as much selling as I'd like to think that
Hey, Bob.
Would. Yeah.
You were talking about the Hinder Auto. I got to hold it, and let me just say, it's very nice.
Yeah.
And I went to a magical place. I'm not liberty to say where I was, but I was at the ranch. But I have one knife, and I'm not going to say because Rick has not put a video out yet, but I have a prototype. I have one prototype, and I'm not going to show it because without Rick's permission.
It's a prototype of the auto.
No. It's a new model that's coming out.
Oh, sweet. So, how much of a hint can you give us about what to expect from it? Is that what it sounds like?
With Hinder not being in here, I can't. I made a promise to myself to not to talk about it sometimes because it's just people will say, "Ooh, a hint." Ooh.
And yet you brought it up.
I know.
You broke your promise. You broke your promise.
I was excited.
To yourself.
I'm excited because there's only 7 of them made. So basically, I'm one of the 7.
Here's what I say: you've already broken the promise to yourself, which is the worst thing. So now just break the promise you made with Rick and show us. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not going to. Here's one I have that I got that I gave to my dad. I actually bought this for him.
Nice. What is? I can't make out. Is that alien?
It's called a containment series, where he has the gas mask and all that stuff. Yeah.
I see. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Ooh,
it's just really gold, but that's the
love that handle.
Is that a 24?
No, this is a 28. No.
An 18?
No, 18.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
with
beautiful.
the coyote with black false scam bolster.
We were just talking earlier. I'm not sure if you were on at the time, but of how nice just the spear point, the original Hinderer blade is. I don't have one of those. Byron said, but I must possess one. No, I'm just kidding. Byron says, Bob, could you own only 15 knives at one time and still enjoy this hobby? Hell no. No, I'm just kidding. I think yes, but it would have to be.
I've got more on my scrap box.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Me too. I have more in my car door. No, it would have to be 3 slip joints, 3 swords, 3 fixed blades, of the combat. So it would be really, really hard to do. But I mean, and that's speaking from a spoiled kind of first world perspective. Now, if need be, yeah, I could, if I had to. But don't make me think of such a horrible possibility.
It's funny. Another part of the hobby, Bob, that I started to like as I've got on is refurbishing the older knives. Ooh. Like the one your brother gave you. I've done the one that you sent me. I've done a video on it the other week.
Oh, cool. I like that knife.
Yeah, I didn't over refurbish it because I didn't want to take all the life out of it.
Yes.
So I just done a really basic restoration. It works so much better. I freed it all up, but I didn't take all the heavy pit. I just left it in.
Yes.
And now it is the most beautiful pocket dropper. And I got another wee one, something similar from France. And that's another wee sub collection I've got.
Yeah.
Going now is wee metal knives, just pen knives.
Yeah.
Just gorgeous.
I like that. That's a cool sub collection. This little one this little one that I cleaned up, I could have sanded, I guess, to get rid of that patina, but I hit it with some flits, cleaned it up a little bit. But
the only vintage. The amount
of comments I got after I made the video, that people saying, you should have done more to the blades, you should have sanded it, you should have. But it would have just took all the character of that knife.
Yeah, exactly.
Me, for me, it would have took all the character.
It also would have left a piece of paper thin steel too, because it's already pretty.
Bob, you have no idea how sharp that knife is.
Oh my God.
As you say, they're paper thin behind the edge.
Yeah.
They cut when they're blunt.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Basically,
absolutely.
They will. Straight through cardboard when they're blunt.
So, Brant, what were you going to say?
Well, I mean, I have a vintage two 1940s case knives that are one in mint condition. It's a Case Hunter, 2-bladed.
Nice.
And then I have a Coke bottle, and it's the mini Coke bottle. Very used. It's got a lot of pitting on it, but I've got to fix that. But yeah, it's just, and I got those for a good price.
I love them, man. Excuse me. I love the old, just like, and a lot of it does have to do with the history, knowing that someone cut all sorts of stuff with this. This is the one hinderer, or I keep saying hinderer. This is the one Medford I have left, and this is the Gentleman Jack, which this is one of the early ones, and it doesn't have very good walk and talk. But
it looks like a very weak back spring on them.
I do know that has been changed, and we'll be talking about that on the podcast sometime soon.
Oh, nice!
But there's a cool story behind it.
I got
I believe Jack Wool's Knives is getting knives made by Medford.
Yeah, that's in the offing. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Medford was talking about it on one of his videos last week, I think.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and he actually mentioned it.
Ben is the guy who basically schooled Medford on how to make a good slip joint. He came in and checked out the Gentleman Jack and was like, it's pretty, but this action needs help, and basically showed him how to do it. But I don't want to talk too much more about that because I know he's going to talk about it, and I'm not sure how much Ben wants.
I thought it had come out because Medford was actually talking about it on one of his live streams that he was making knives. Right. Otherwise, I would never have said it myself.
Oh no, I know. I think it's, but I think it's going to be awesome. You might not like the Medford aesthetic, but that they make very high quality knives. I think there's only
product.
Walt says, I think that's the only Medford that I've found remotely attractive, but I can see why others like them. Yeah. Like I said, I just traded away the Praetorian, and I had a sort of love-hate relationship with that. I always kind of called it ridiculous, but loved it, Clay says, my first knife was a Case Sodbuster Jr. Love that thing in the early 70s. I have a yellow Delrin Sodbuster Jr. that I love.
Same here.
What do you think of these? Do you like the toenail knives?
Oh, the elephant toe?
Yeah.
I've got one, Bob, but they're not really for me.
D Bass says, Bob, is your podcast on your YouTube channel? Yeah, we do the podcast on YouTube, so we can see the knife makers, and we can see their knives and stuff, and then you can also get it on all the podcast apps, so it's both video and audio. So thanks for asking, D Bass. No, this one is a we're on all of these podcast apps. This is a marbles. I went through a period of time where I was buying Rough Riders. This was a marbles that Mike Latham from collectorknives.net, he sent me a box full of Rough Riders because I was going on and on about them for a while, and he sent me like, here, I got a bunch, take them. And this was one of them, and I love the green bone. It's a marbles, kind of like your green bone marbles a little bit.
Yeah, I have the copperhead, and it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, this is a really good knife, and I know it was not expensive. Medford is going to be doing a lot of OEM work in the next year. Yes, that is awesome. We need American OEMs.
Yeah.
EDC Oz says, for me, first of all, thanks for joining us, sir. For me, it's the materials used, i.e. bone or exotic wood. Yes, me too. Bone. I love the bone. I love like the stag. That's why I had this made with stag. It's just. Oof.
Oh, is that sandbar stag?
I think this is sandbar stag. The stuff from India. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that is.
The other thing, it's for me, it's like texture. The jigging on the traditional knives.
Yeah,
that's what gets me. I'm really good into
jigging.
Remington? No, this is the GEC version of it. This is the same size as the original. It is massive.
That's the red tail hawk. Yeah, the red tail bone.
Red tail jig bone.
Oh,
let me just show you the spay.
Yeah, that's a beautiful spay blade.
It is just stunning.
Oh wow!
I mean, you can hardly get this in the camera. It's absolutely huge.
It almost looks like a Tony Bowes Panama. I have a Panama.
Yeah,
similar to it.
It really is just. I've never liked big knives, and I can't get this out of my hand.
It's so cool. Just look at that knife. I mean,
cutting edge on it. I mean, it's a huge big knife and a really good back spring that's strong enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
take it.
I have that, and then I have another GEC, and I can't remember the number of it now. But it's the same length, and it's a single bladed clip point that has a very, very large bolster, and it's a Coke bottle, and it's just right over there. But it
Yeah,
has
I know the one.
the weakest spring. It really bothers me, the spring.
That was the Allegheny one, wasn't it?
Yes, it's the Allegheny.
Yeah, it had a very weak spring. I didn't buy it because of that. Yeah,
that burnt me up. That, I mean, you know, it's, again, first world problems, but I don't want to get rid of it. It's in beautiful. It's in one of my favorite. I love autumn jig bone. Here, this bone on this knife here is why this is probably my favorite slip joint, barring all like ones that my grandfather gave me or stuff like that. But look at the bone.
I agree.
The bone on that is just
envious
exquisite.
of that knife. It's one of the nicest bones I've ever seen.
They are very.
Yeah, I mean, and this was a short run. I mean, just one run of the 15. In what year was this? In 2013. Oh, dude, you got to get one. You got to just go on Blade Forums, buy one secondhand, and just check it out. But this one with the spade blade.
The problem is, Bob, I'm very picky. I liked having a large blade. I love the one that Patty's got. The one that would be the one I would get.
That you would like this too, I would imagine. It's a pretty big knife. Also, this is was this the 86? Sorry, the numbers. Yeah, this is the 86 from 2019, I believe. 2019 86. They just came out with the 86. What the cattle knife.
Yeah, I've got the oil field jack one with a spanner.
Oh, nice!
Wow,
with the wrench in the wood right here.
Yeah.
Hey, Kraken, good to have you here. Isn't that beautiful?
That is really nice.
And that is a big knife. It's a good handful.
Yeah, it is. It is a chunky, you know. Yeah, it's a good handful.
You're making me break out my case knives right now. You're gonna make me.
Yeah, man, do it. Don't forget about the slip joints. What? That's beautiful. What is that?
Oh, look at that little snub nose.
Oh my God, MDK. Who's that?
Yeah, it's Michael Duplessis from South Africa.
God, that's gorgeous, man.
And it's in micarta handle, so it's sort of modern.
Yeah.
But just a beautiful little snub nose and the swedge on that.
Yeah, God. So is that blue micarta I'm seeing?
Yeah, blue micarta. And the actual, the shield on it, let's see if I can get it for you. No. Can't get it. I can't even see it in the light here. The shield is black micarta, but you can't really see it.
Yes. I saw it.
Yeah. It's hard
on the
to
other
see,
it's on the other side, right?
It's a beautiful, and this is where I think as you get on, I'm going for custom slip joints rather than 25 GECs. I'd rather buy, 3 or 4 really good customs.
Yeah.
But I think you have to go through the process of buying a whole load of crap, and then you eventually sort out what you want. And then James said it earlier on, you just become picky.
I still buy crap. I mean, I just for fun,
You've seen my collection. I still do it.
Yeah. It's like the other day, I just bought another kitchen knife and wrapped the handle with string and shellacked it. And, it's like, I didn't need to do this. What, like another one? Why?
Yeah.
But yeah, or just, yeah, I just anything, almost anything with an edge. But at the same time, that's not expensive, so, yeah.
Well, you've got me into fixed blades now. I've actually been looking for a Fairbairn Sykes.
Oh, yeah.
But I haven't seen one for sale over here yet.
Yeah.
I really would love to pick up an old, really well-used one.
Yeah.
And then sort of do it up sympathetically.
What do you mean do it up sympathetically? What do you mean by that?
Well, I'd like to buy an old used one and then sort of clean it up and sort of make it look a bit better, but not go over the top with.
Yes, no, I hear you. Right. Yeah, the one I have one that my brother gave me right there.
It's gorgeous.
And it's sort of the same thing. It somewhere along the way. Ooh, that's nice, man. I still buy crap. That's awesome. Sorry, I don't want to be remembered for saying that. Well, I love crap. I still buy.
But you know, it's funny as a YouTuber. You think because you change your likes and dislikes of knives, it's amazing how many subs don't mind. They enjoy you changing along the way. I haven't lost any subs because I've changed my style of knife, because you sort of grew up with your subs, and they come along in this sort of evolution with you, and it's beautiful. It really is. Just
people also just tend to, I watch the people I like. Here's my biggest problem now is I used to have more time to watch YouTube videos, and now I miss. I still subscribe to everybody, and I still check the feed, and what's so and so making, and I might check in for a minute, but I just don't have time to watch everyone's videos, and I wish I did. I would know more, and I'd be asking less questions when people tell me they're pocket checking. I'm like, what's that? They're like, well, watch your knife videos and you'll know. Andrew Demko said whenever he visits someplace, he buys a gas station knife just to keep within fidget on the way back. That's awesome. He's so cool.
Very good.
Oh, that's a beaut. That is a beaut. Look at
This
that.
is the back pocket. This is the case back pocket.
I like the back pocket.
I love it when case do the writing and the
I think
blade.
this is goldenrod. Yeah, this is goldenrod bone. Very rare.
All right, guys. Well, this is the perfect opportunity to bring up tonight's knife fight, which I would love the two of you to battle out, because tonight's subject, as we near the ending of this broadcast, is slip joint versus EDC Fixie. This is a perfect subject for the two gentlemen I have with me right here, right now. Right? It's very apropos. And this is something I came up with earlier today. I didn't know this was going to happen. It's like magic here. So who would like to take what? That goldenrod bone is amazing. I agree. And you know what else is amazing? Is the walk and talk on this 86. It's insane.
And of course,
so perfect. So perfect. Oh, yeah. So I have, my back pocket is a Carhartt branded back pocket, but it still came with that. So it's got like the Carhartt color G10, and it's nice. It's nice, but I always wanted a fancy back pocket. Oh,
there
nice.
You go.
Later says, yeah, I cherry pick most of the time these days, but I recently bought a Buck 119 special from Walmart for about $50. Still a great knife. I love my Buck 119. Love that knife. That is a classic. I remember looking at 119s at the hardware store when I was a little kid. That's a beaut. That's a beautiful one. Is that a Shot & Morgan?
Yeah, no, that's a Dave Shirley Northwoods.
Oh, okay.
Before they were bought over, that was the Dave Shirley. It's a beautiful knife.
Yeah.
Really high fit and finish. I think Queen made them.
Very nice.
Yeah, Queen made a few of their Shat & Morgan when they went out of business. This is one of the rosewood handles. This was my EDC for a long time.
It's beautiful, man. I love the Shot & Morgan. Okay, so who wants slip joint and who wants? You know what? I think Patty's got to take slip joint, and I think Edie Fixie goes to you, Brent, because I know you love neck knives. So I think this works out perfectly. All right, so who would like to go first?
Oh wait, one more, Bob. Here you go.
Let me see.
Tuxedo.
Oh, that's a beaut. That's a beautiful.
Mother of pearl.
I like those. Ultimately, I carry the small slip joints. Ultimately, even though I have the big ones, I usually carry the small ones. I like that a lot. Love the Buck 110 design. It's timeless. No doubt about that.
So I just got a Buck 110 this year for the first time. Absolutely beautiful knife.
Here's the 112, the little one.
Yeah, that's my next buy. I want the small.
Nice, and you can get that. I got the little opener thing. I like how that works. All right, so Patty, you are arguing for slip joint. You have 1 minute, sir, and I will give you the countdown in 3, 2, 1.
Well, look, let's be honest. This is just a very simple, straightforward argument. Obviously, because I'm British, we're right. And the slip joint is still the most popular knife in the UK because we're not allowed anything else. But it's popular for a reason, is that it can do everything your modern knives can do. Everything they can do. And it usually does them better simply because the blade geometry, we hear arguments about blade steels, but blade geometry to me is more important than the blade steel. HCR13 in a very thin geometry will cut all day long. So why would you want a fixed blade, which is hard to conceal? It's a cumbersome tool compared to a little folder that throws in your pocket. And folders come in all sizes.
5
It doesn't
seconds.
have to be a peanut. Folders, as I showed earlier on, are a knife that are amazing for anything that you need to do, especially around the house. And don't scare somebody. If I pull out a fixed blade, I scare somebody immediately. Pull out a slip joint, happy days.
Hey, that goes, as you wrap up, that goes directly to Dan's comment here. Slip joint. I'm in the office environment most of the day. Most of the sheeple can't handle fixed blades. Good point, Dan. But I'm doing the best I can to acclimatize my workmates to all sorts of implements. Okay, Brent, it's your turn. In 3, 2, 1, you're on.
I think pretty much an EDC Fixie is a perfect companion on anything, even though in the UK they're banned. In certain areas they're banned, but they're way better because the one thing is when you're moving stuff, you don't have time to get your folder out. You can just get your fixed blade right there and you cut whatever you need to get. That's what's good about them. That's what they were made for. They're a tool. They're meant for being in the war. They're meant to be in EDC. They're meant for being in a display for anything. That's pretty much all I got.
That's all
Well
he's
done.
got, ladies and gentlemen.
Well done.
All right, you got 5 minutes to spare. No, that's 5 seconds to spare. I'm sorry. Good argument. For me, it's 6 1/2 of the other. Neither of them are my main carry. My main carry is always a 3.5 to 4 inch modern folder, locking folder, usually of this ilk over here. And then slip joints and EDC fixed blades are secondary. But I can't decide which I love more. I mean, I love a good fixed blade knife that's been made that's small, that's been made for pocket carry and stuff like that. But also, I carry fixed blades more, but Patty won, says Nick Martino.
Funny.
These kind of
I
knives.
just recently, I've been carrying a wee LT Wright, the little small one.
Oh, yeah.
Fixed blade, but I've put it in a sheath and I have a pen in the sheath and a flashlight on the outside of the sheath.
Oh,
and I take it out when I'm going out at night time and I can pull it out and use the flashlight without having to disengage it because it's just a push button flashlight. So I just use it.
Right.
But I have to say it's a great little thing but I've never done that before. So until I get stopped.
I love it. Yeah. Right. Exactly. I like those pocket sheaths. You can get them. Knives Ship Free sells a cool proprietary pocket sheath. It's beautiful. I've always thought about getting one, for little fixed blade knives, and you can fit all sorts of different little fixed blade knives in there. But it's kind of contoured to fit the inside of a pocket. It's got a curve on one side. And I just love that. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. It's always a pleasure to see both of your faces and to hear your input. And what's cool about the two of you and having both of you on tonight is that your collections are on opposite ends of my, Patty, you've got my slip joint obsession covered, and Brant, you have my hinderer / hardcore hard use locking modern tactical folder part covered. So it was good and those are the two that have been really on my mind. So It's great to have
Brant
you
would
both here.
have my drooling knives. I just love his knife collection. I mean, I've got one hinderer. It's the slippy hinderer, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
one of my favorite knives ever.
Mr.
But
Mr. Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Beyond the Beard says, I'm blessed to live in a place where I don't have to choose. Amen. But so it is what you do, like that hinderer slippy?
one of the best knives I've got. I love it. It's
Which
not
one do you have?
particularly. Sorry,
Which one do you have? Do you have the sheath foot, the slicer,
of the slippy slicer,
Slippy slice.
nice,
Very
very
nice.
nice.
and it's just a beautiful knife. It's not a fidget toy. You know, it's quite
No.
difficult to open with one hand, but
Yeah.
I just love it as a knife.
Yeah,
Ulti clips for small fixed blades work awesome. I've got one right here, and I agree with you. Mr. Beyond the Beard, thank you. I've got one of those sheaths, fits small fixed blades in a pen. That's perfect. All right, guys. Thanks, knife friends.
Thank you
I
very
enjoyed
much, Bob.
sharing times, Clay. Hey,
Thanks, Brian.
Stephen, it was my pleasure. Brant, my pleasure. Thank you, guys. Michael Morgan,
Take care.
as always.
Good night.
Have a good night,
thank
sir.
you, Jim.
And Jim, always, of course.
Thank you, Jim, for being here.
All right, and I'll say it. Well,
care.
make sure to join us on Sunday for another great interview, and of course, a Wednesday for a supplemental. You'll find out whatever new knives are coming across my desk. So, thank you, Jim, for making it all work from behind the scenes. Oh yeah, that's right. 258 this weekend is Matt Chase detailing and talking about the making of my
that'll be
birthday
good.
knife. Yeah,
That
so
will be good.
there were some tribulations, but he got through them. So you'll find all about that. D-Bass, great to have you. EDC Oz, thanks, man. Thanks for coming. And thank you, Stephen and Brant. It's been a pleasure.
Good night, everybody.
Have a great night. And for Jim working his magic behind the switcher, I'm Bob saying until next time, don't take dull for an answer, people.